good morning. Today is an exciting day because I've woken up early as my mum and dad will be here any moment now. They've been travelling through the night, so very excited to see them. I'm getting impatient now. Can't speak words. What are they? The funniest thing just happened. I'm waiting for them to turn up by the window like I am now, and I get a phone call from my dad saying we're at Betty's house, and I was like, what are you doing there? So apparently they had the wrong postal code, so they turned up at Adam's grandma's house. I think they might have knocked on the door because I'm sure I heard his granddad in the background talking, so I think they woke them up because it's early. I really want them to get here so I can hear the story, and plus obviously I'm very excited to see them. Getting impatient now.
Yeah, probably because they're only yeah.
Have we missed Adam?
Yeah, he went at 10 to. We would have made it. Yeah, that's what I don't know.
God, look at my hair. Windswept. Look who's here. Hello. I'm doing a grand tour.
A grand tour.
How's it been so far?
Lovely, lovely.
Lovely weather.
Yeah.
Lovely sun.
Nice boxes.
Yeah, we just piled all my boxes into the flat, so I didn't want to do anything too hikey today because they're tired as it is. They travelled through the night and they've been heavy lifting, so I wasn't exactly going to be like, right, let's hike up a hill.
Casualty unit.
Yeah.
Off at midnight last night.
Yep. And arrived at
7:30.
7:30. Oh yeah,
That was
they
funny.
they arrived at, oh, that's a little water fountain over there.
Nice, isn't it?
I don't know why it's bright blue. It's probably got some dye in it.
I suppose it keeps it clean.
Maybe, yeah. They accidentally arrived at, oh, I think I already said actually, Adam's grandma and granddad's house.
Which is quite funny.
Knocked at the door at 7:30 in the morning like, is Ellie
And I
there?
said, do you know Ellie? Is Ellie there? Well, she used to be. And then I realised who it was.
Oh, that's funny. Oh well.
Didn't unload all the boxes.
Yeah, imagine. So yeah, that is all.
Which was about a mile away from yours. So it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, doesn't matter too much.
We got him out of bed.
Yeah.
Early morning call.
Start his day early now. So I have a bubblegum daiquiri, question mark. I've only just learnt how to pronounce that. I didn't even know what it was called. God, your eyes are so blue, Dad. He's like, I know.
Also,
And we have nachos with cheese, jalapenos, salsa, and oh, I guess they put the chickpeas in it because we ordered extra chickpeas and I think they've just shoved it in it. Nice, we weren't sure whether they came in a pot or not. And we got another daiquiri for the price of one, a mango one, and they've got 2 lagers. God, you've like drunk your lager already.
yeah.
Your beer, I mean. They're gonna be on the floor later on. Look, I just love the fact you're eating your nachos with a fork.
Well, it's so small.
Only classy birds. So once again, we've come to Marsden Rock, which is the place I take all the guests that come see me in my new humble abode. And we've just found a little mouth in the cave. We're gonna go see if there's a monster in there. No monsters, just a little nook. Not a lot of you guys are probably going to know that this is even a thing, but Melanie Martinez recently made a horror movie, and it's kind of like a musical. She's described it as like a musical film, like a music film. I can't remember. Although all the new tracks from her new album will be featured in it, I believe. I don't really know exactly what to expect yet. I've seen the trailer. It looks very creepy / cute, which I'm very excited about, so I've dressed accordingly. I'm very excited to see exactly what she's made, and like it's a full-length feature film, so I'm just so impressed that she's made a film. For starters, she's casting in it and she's the director. I'm also excited to see who turns up, because the cinema, I'm so lucky that she's picked a cinema near me. It's just 20 minutes like on the train for me, so I'm so grateful, because obviously she is American, so I kind of expected her just to pick like a few places in the UK, and she did pick quite a few but not that many. And then when I saw there was a cinema showing it today so close, I was just really shocked, and it's for today only as well. So I booked a ticket straight away, and I'm gonna go see it now, and I'm gonna take you with me and let you know how it goes. I'll give you a review. I'll see what I think. I'll make some mental notes, and I'll come back to let you guys know how it went, tell you whether you should buy it yourself, because it is available to buy it after today, but I wanted to see it in cinema as it's like for one day and one day only. And it might even be cool to maybe meet some people. I don't know, there might be some people there that I can kind of get along with, because I feel like people who like Melanie are usually quite strange people, and I need some strange friends. We're at Burger King. I have a whole burger. Stands for halloumi.
Did I just bring some salt?
Yep, it's underneath your
Oh.
surprise.
Hey.
I thought it said GBK. I was like, when did you go to GBK? What does that stand for?
Chicken Bacon King.
Oh.
Oh,
The way you kept on pouring. We keep seeing people walking by, and I know for a fact they're going to go see the Melanie movie, because I mean they either have merch on, fluffy clothing, or plaid. Not to stereotype, but I know my Melanie fans.
Never heard of the term plaid before, mate. You.
I think it's just like a more like official word. I think tartan's just Scottish, isn't it? I don't know.
Yes.
So it was what you expected?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know because I've never had a child before, but I'm assuming that this is the closest I will feel to being proud of my one and only daughter. If I'm gonna be honest, when I left to go to the cinema yesterday, I was excited obviously, but I was also very nervous. I mean, I guess when you, my dinner's ready. I guess when you want someone to do well, you feel very passionate about something, and I guess that does sometimes translate into nerves, and I really wanted to like it myself, as well as I wanted to see that she'd done a good job. And then once I knew she'd done a good job, I knew that she was gonna do well, and like all her songs were gonna get in the charts, which I really wanted her to. I want her to have success basically. And I'm not saying I didn't have faith, but there was a little part of me that was like, oh god, what if like her vision is so different to what it was before, and she has this complete change of like personality, and that would have been fine, and I would have tried to welcome that. But you know, I did get a bit nervous, and I was saying on my Instagram story how it does really feel like I've kind of grown up with her and our interests and what we are kind of into and our styles. I feel like I've grown up with her, and I feel like a lot of what we both enjoy has kind of matched each other quite well, and I feel like if I knew her in real life we'd get along quite well, because I feel that her style has really matured. So I hate when people say that usually, because it usually means like the old stuff is like immature or anything. It's not that. I think she's done it in a really intelligent way where she's matured her music a bit to suit the character Crybaby, who you follow through all of her songs, age. So Crybaby is someone who was in her first album, and it's about home life and family life and everything about growing up from a baby. So yeah, in the first album you just follow this baby and the home life that she goes through, and in this new one you're watching the same character, Crybaby, start school and then go through all the things that you go through at school, and you follow her during that part of her life. I love the way Melanie has thought so hard about everything she's done, and I love the way that she hasn't just wanted to make music for the sake of making music. Like, everything is in a theme, everything works well together, it's a story, and you are invested in not only the sound of the music but the character of the person singing. Just realised there's a chandelier behind me. This flat is a mess again since all of my stuff was brought up with my mum and dad. I'm sorry. I just was really nervous about this story because I had watched the first part of it and I want to know that the second part's going to be just as good, and it blew the other one out the water by just maturing the music a little bit more in a way that was a bit more R&B, because the first album was very like inspired by childish noises like nursery rhymes and, you know, the sounds that children's musical instruments would play, and you could see that throughout all of the songs, and that was really cool and I loved it. It was an amazing idea, and I love how she's kind of matured it so it still has those elements but she's added a bit of R&B. I was so surprised by the budget. I didn't realise how good the film would be. Not only is it a full-length film, but you can tell that a lot of money must have gone into that because it didn't look cringy or badly made in any parts. Like, I was really surprised how every scene you see something new. You know, some films you can tell are low budget because it's like always in the same location, or you're always getting the same thing, it's same characters doing the same stuff. Like, every minute was something new and surprising was happening, whether that was someone taking out their eyeballs or whether that was someone's hands being blown up, because Crybaby in the film has some sort of special powers, and I believe those powers are supposed to represent someone who is woke, so someone who... It's also a very spiritual film as well, which I wasn't expecting. There's a bit of element to it where she visits a spiritual guide and stuff in it, which this is why I love her so much. I feel like we have so much in common. If I was to be critical about any of it, the only stuff I would say is there were a few scenes where advice was given, and that was obviously going to happen because, like, you're following someone who's growing up in school, and there was probably lots of girls all over the world watching that film who's also in school, and there's some scenes where someone's giving advice to another character and there's nothing wrong with the advice at all. I just think some of the advice is very cliche, and I think that she should have used the opportunity to maybe think of some pieces of advice that people can maybe feel a lot more inspired by. I am very much about like script writing and song lyrics as well, so I really study things like that. That's just the type of person I am. So when someone was like saying something about body dysmorphia, because that was touched on a little bit in the film, and what she said was, it made me like cringe a little bit because it is stuff you've heard before, and I felt like she could have maybe found something a little bit deeper, and that could have gone a long way and really touched people's lives a bit more effectively than something that people have probably heard all the time. That being said, I think it was amazing that she touched on so many things in that film that I didn't know she would touch on. Anything to do with high school was touched upon, and it literally went from like boys, crushes, bullying, friendship groups, bulimia, like body dysmorphia, I believe self-harm might have been touched on. There was stuff about periods and puberty and growing up. Just a mix of stuff was like mashed into one film, so it was less about following some sort of story. There wasn't a huge amount of story to follow, but she just, I think, mostly just wanted to make a musical film that covers all kinds of school issues and topics, and I think that was the main goal there, and she 101% achieved it. And the costume was amazing, the lyrics were good, and it's very, very hard to make a musical. So hard, and there are so many musicals that have flopped because it's just a little bit cringe, you know, and maybe the songs didn't work well with the film, or like that it comes across as a little bit hard to watch because someone is essentially singing in a real life scenario, even though the K-12 musical is far from a real life scenario. That's something you need to expect if you are going to go watch the film, which is actually available on her YouTube channel right now. You just see so much weird stuff. Just expect the unexpected because the film is crazy. I'm really, really proud. Another little critic I will say, when she meets her spirit guide, that that is a part where I was like, ooh, I don't know if they should have done it like that. So the spirit guide had a voice that was kind of like heavily or edited using audio effects and stuff, so it sounded a bit echoey and a bit like creepy and stuff. I don't think they should have done that. I think that gave it a little bit of an odd feel to it. I kind of watched it and was like, ooh, because I just felt it was a bit stereotypical, you know, like some spirit guide comes on the scene and they start like talking like this. I felt, and I said this to Adam, that they should have maybe given her like a universal language. You'd think that someone who's like a spirit guide should speak like a whole different language, which is supposed to be like the universal language that we all speak once we die, and then it should have just given you subtitles at the bottom. I didn't even know if she was going to like sing in the movie. I don't know if it was just going to be songs playing in the background or if she was actually going to be singing, but she does like, well, she lip syncs obviously because that's what musical films do, but she actually lip synced in the film. And the minute they got in the school bus and the Wheels in the Bus plays, I turned to Adam and I was like, I love it. Yes, I love it. Like the minute she started singing, I was like, I know I'm gonna like this. So I told you I'd give you my honest opinions. That is my honest opinion. Let me know in the comments if you've seen it. Did you like it? What do you think of her album? Obviously, I was going to do a reaction to her new album when it came out video, but then I was sat in the cinema and then I was realizing that all of the songs for her new album was gonna be playing through the film. So I was like, whatever, I can't do that video, can I? But I enjoyed it so much. I was just sat there like, I wanna hear the next song, I can't wait. And then the next song will play and I'm like, yee! And the next one, I just didn't want the film to end, and then it ended and I was like, oh. It was all pink, all pastel. The aesthetic was so cute. The way she posted all her snippets, like her promotion for this album has been incredible. The fact that she scheduled it to be during a time when school starts for everyone, I think is lovely, a lovely touch. She touches upon things in school that maybe isn't spoken about enough, and that even might encourage kids to talk to their parents about things. And she's learned dance routines, she's done the directing for this film, and she's in the film, she's acted, she's done the lyrics. God, I've like spoken my brains off. I'm currently wearing a dress from Blue Banana. This came in the post the other day. I wasn't sure to get it in a size up or not, because I know some places that some things I bought from Blue Banana run a bit small, but I think this should be okay as long as I wash it very carefully. But it's an absolutely gorgeous dress and I'm so impressed by it. How cute is this? I will leave a link to it down there in the video description if you're interested. I love Blue Banana. If there's anything on there that I've been keeping an eye on for a while, I bookmark it and I wait till it goes on sale, because this went on sale from 30 quid to 15. Bargain. But the reason why I'm dressed up now is because we're about to go and see the Book of Mormon. We've got such a musical, we've had such a musical month already, so many things going on. I've seen like Betty's musical, The Dolly Mixtures, the other day, and then we go and see Melanie Martinez's film and the new album release. And then tomorrow I'm actually going to a gig to celebrate Buddy Holly's birthday. I don't know how many of you guys know, but he's a singer. He's a very famous singer, so a lot of you guys should know him. But we're actually going to a pub that's having his niece perform. She's singing at this pub some of his tracks, and me and Adam are going to go along to that. And his niece is actually my godmum, which is a weird thing to say, but my mum was her pen pal. Well, they still are pen pals, and she actually asked, Sherry is her name, Sherry Holly, if she wanted to be my godmother. And I actually met her for the first time the other day when my mum and dad were up, which, by the way, I didn't seem to film a lot when my mum and dad were up, as you probably noticed, but I honestly wanted quality time as much as possible. They were only up for 2 days because of the fact they had a van, so they couldn't really hire the van for too many days. So that's why I didn't get a lot of footage of them. But one of the things we did do was go and see Sherry, and I didn't film that because it's very personal, and it was a really big thing for me to meet her, and she's really lovely. We just sat and had dinner at a restaurant, and I'm going to be meeting her again tomorrow, which will be lovely. And also tomorrow we're going to see the new It movie, It Chapter 2. And you guys know I was a big fan of the first one, so this month already has been so amazing, and I'm so lucky to have such an incredible month with so much going on. And then straight after that, on Sunday, the next day after going to see Sherry and It Chapter 2, I'm going down south to visit my family for a week. And I'm also going to see Lorna as well. We're hanging out at her flat for a night and staying over. There's just so much going on. And tonight for Book of Mormon, I'm going to be with Adam's nan, Betty, auntie, uncle, and I think that's it. And obviously Adam. We loved the film so much we decided to get in the set ourselves and try and find Pennywise.
Does look pretty spooky, this.
It does. Speaking of, there was no sound effect in this film, as there was in the last, was there, Adam?
Sorry?
There was no spooky Pennywise sound effects.
Not really. Not the same way, at least.
No, so I gave the chapter 1 probably like 9.5 out of 10. This one I would probably give like 6.5.
Really?
I mean, there was parts of it I liked. There were a lot of parts where I caught myself thinking I would have done that differently. So yeah, we've just seen it. I liked it. I'll probably talk about it properly when I'm not walking down a creepy looking forest, but the ending got me real good. I cried. That touched me a little bit. I didn't really expect there to be a certain thing brought up.
I loved it, yeah.
Yeah.
I rate it pretty high.
I think I want to watch it again. I definitely don't think it came anywhere near the first chapter.
No.
No. Before they kind of did Pennywise a bit differently. This time he was just this like, he was just a clown and he didn't seem as like creepy. He was just like a bloke more than like horror monster. He didn't seem as scary for some reason. And I was told this one was supposed to be scarier than the first one, so it was good. I think the ending made up for the fact I didn't like the beginning part. I mean, I liked it, obviously I liked it. It's just because I was saying to Adam when we sat down in cinema, this is the most highly anticipated movie I've ever watched in my life, because if you love the first one so much, you're gonna expect the second one to be really, really good, do you know what I mean? Because it wasn't like incredible, off the chart incredible, I'm gonna be disappointed, aren't I? So
Yeah, I thought it was great.
but yeah, so now we're walking through a creepy entrance to get to that gig I was telling you about earlier on in the vlog. They're doing like a vintage...
Someone was touching the back of my leg there.
Huh?
I think someone was touching the back of my leg.
Oh god, yeah, where we're walking right now is like where Pennywise would be. Like, look at all of this.
That music's like the afterlife and we're walking towards it.
Oh yeah, we can just hear creepy like old-fashioned music. But it's like a vintage pub event. Oh yeah, it's basically halloumi, isn't it? Adam's got a little burger. There was a little burger shack over there and I asked Adam to get me something and they cooked me up a halloumi thing. We got some ciders. It's very chill here. They're playing music behind us, but we're sat outside because it's nice and chill out here. It's very like busy and stuffy in there. Cheers.
Hello.
Can I join you?
Hi, of course you can.
Just to like eat those?
Hi. How are you doing?
Yeah, of course.
It's nice, isn't it?
Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Sherry Holly, come on.